from the beginning. Okay. My name is Welton Alvarez. On the night of May 1st, 1984, my good friend Joseph Day was abducted by aliens. It was late at night. We had just finished putting out the campfire. Joseph, myself, and a few others, we were camping that night. It was a night like many other camping nights. Nothing out of the ordinary had taken place. And it was about 10 p.m., I'd say, when Joseph went off into the distance to take a leak. The next thing you know, he's yelling and calling everybody to come out there where he was. And he was frantically calling for us. We thought that he was getting mauled by a bear. So we all ran with our flashlights and torches. And there we found him standing in front of this cow. The cow was laying on the grass, split open from chest to stomach. They're watching us, huh? And it had no eyes. It was missing the eyes. All you saw was the sockets, and the intestines were ripped out of this cow, and no blood anywhere in the vicinity of the cow. We were all looking at each other, dumbfounded. How could this be? We all asked each other. Clearly, the cow was attacked by some animal, but there were no traces of blood anywhere. It was very, very odd. It had no eyeballs. Now, what kind of animal does this to another animal? If it was a wolf, a coyote, it would have left blood everywhere. It would have left guts, spread around, and we saw none of that. So one of us went back to the camp, and so we were going to go out to the nearest payphone and call the authorities. And so Joe decided to go. He was freaked out. He didn't want to be in front of this cow anymore. He could swear. He was just out of his mind. He was telling everybody, it's the reptilozoids. The reptilozoids came from underground and did this to the cow. And I'm saying to myself, why the fuck would anyone, much less a reptilozoid, do something like this to a cow? With what purpose? But Joseph insisted, it's the reptilozoids, the reptilozoids. And I looked at him and said, Joe, what the fuck are reptilozoids? You're out of your fucking mind. That doesn't exist. You read too many comic books. But he wouldn't have it. He would not have it. He swore up and down that it was beings that live underground and have been there since the dawn of time. Now, I am not a scientist or anything close to that, but I don't buy it. I don't buy it. There's no way that there's subterranean class of beings that are living there. I don't believe it. Anyway, Joe ran back to camp to get some coins so that he can run to the payphone and call the police or anyone that could come and check this weird anomaly. That was the last we saw of Joe. He never came back. We all went, we waited about 10, 15 minutes. No signs of Joe. We ran back to the camp. He had never been there. His man purse was full of coins. He hadn't been there. Now, I wonder, who took Joe? Are we going to find Joe split open with no guts and no eyeballs? I don't know. All I know is that I'm detained here because these people think that I had something to do with his disappearance. So, here I am. I'm sure Derek is in the next room. Nelson is in the other room. Jeff, we're all detained. But the question is, where is Joe?